Welcome to Stargate SG1 for the first time still. Not a Star Trek podcast. My name is Jeff Aiken, and I am watching Stargate SG1 for the first time.
And I'm Brent Allen, and I'm watching Stargate SG1 for the 47th time. Jeff and I are two veteran Star Trek podcasters who one day, many moons ago, decided to join forces to bring you Babylon 5 for the first time, and we had so much fun doing that we decided to do it again with this show that my buddy Jeff over there has never, ever seen. How could you have not seen this show before, Jeff?
The cool thing is, though, whether this is your 47th time or your first time through the gate, we are now inviting you to come along with us on this journey as we give SG1 that for the first time treatment. For me, since this is my first time, I'm just going to be experiencing this literally in real time, watching the show as it unfolds, letting you relive that first time experience.
But we are still going to be looking for what we call those sci-fi messages, the Star Trek messages, if you will. You know, those messages that hold up a mirror to society, give you hope for a future, show us how to be better human beings. And what I'm doing is I'm watching this show through that lens for the first time. I've never actually watched this show looking for those messages. And that's my job in this run through. What are we doing? What is this? Watch through.
Sure, watch through.
Show, whatever it is.
But this is a for the first time podcast. And on our for the first time podcast, Brent, we love to play our games.
We do.
And being veteran Star Trek podcasters, we need to keep those references in check sometimes. So we play a game called the Rule of Three. That's a game that limits us to no more than 3 references to Star Trek per episode.
That's it. 3. One of those plays. No substitutions, exchanges, or refund.
However, adding to the Rule of 3, we are bringing in Babylon 5 references. And anytime we make one of those, you're going to hear...
Oh, yes.
And of course, those are going to be unlimited.
Okay, I can't wait anymore. We're watching the First Commandment. Let's do this.
All right. Well, as you said, this is the First Commandment. This is the 6th episode of the first season, originally aired August 22nd, 1997. Jeff, this episode marks the first time we are meeting a new writer to the show, Robert C. Cooper. Robert C. Cooper is going to be back to write 71 episodes across the Stargate franchise.
Dude, he's like the JMS of Stargate.
Yes.
Not quite. He's more like the Michael Piller of Stargate because he is going to become an executive producer. He is also going to be credited as a co-creator for Stargate Atlantis and Stargate Universe much down the road.
Wow.
So, hey, Jeff. Last week, you ventured a guess as to what this episode was about. Do you happen to remember what that was?
I think this one's going to be, I don't remember.
That's okay. You're about to find out what it really was.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay. Well, why don't we do that? Let's go ahead and jump into this episode for the first time. Listen, if you're joining us, here's how it works. Jeff and I are getting ready to watch this episode right now. We're going to watch it right now. If you're listening to the audio podcast, we're going to break and we're going to go away and watch that. If you're watching the YouTube version, you're going to get the cut up reaction version, video version of this. And if you're over on Patreon, well, just stay tuned because we ain't going to cut the video at all.
Going to get the whole thing. So when we come back, I'm going to break down my reactions to this, what my thoughts from watching this for the first time. And then Brent is going to kind of talk about that sci-fi message lens through which he watched this episode. So Brent, let's go.
Let's do it.
Is this the same planet as last week?
No.
Just the same set.
Well, yes, if the setting is Northeast Canada, or Northwestern Canada.
Oh, yeah. Otter. Is that Papa Shango?
You know what's he doing right there, Jeff? What is that?
Is that a sidekick?
No. Well, yeah. But what is that? You've seen that before.
Have I?
It's the GDO. It's the thing they got to punch in the code to open the iris.
Okay. Right. He's gonna end up having to leave him.
These things look like the Kakamora, like as real people from Moana. You know, little coconut dudes.
Uh huh.
Right. Oh, he's got it.
Whoa.
What about this one? Burn him.
They're gonna burn the dude. I'm not a fan of these really dark scenes. It's hard to track stuff.
Yeah. It's a hell of a set piece, isn't it?
Right. We're gonna have to film everything here because we put it up.
This one's supposed to have the plant life.
Yeah. Anyway, like it must be cool for these guys with as much as they get outside of
Right.
the studio. You know, the number of on location sets they go to.
Where is he? We need to
No. Don't.
Nightmare for lighting. That's probably why they do it in the dark a lot.
Frakes.
I always want his name to be Jonathan.
I can't imagine why.
Permission to speak freely about a superior officer, sir.
Do they do that in the military a lot, Jeff? Permission to
We
speak
never
freely,
did.
sir.
He's lost it.
I don't think we ever said. I never said that.
Captain Hansen?
Did
Maybe it
you
was a
feel
sign
free to speak freely?
Radiation.
What are you,
Most of the time,
Your
yeah.
superior officers and stuff?
No, sir.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what I really think?
What?
We're trying to
Generally,
get
they
back
wanted to know what we
I don't
thought.
buy that.
Jeff, I want to pause just for a second because I think we might have been talking over just a little bit. I want to make sure you caught what they just said is happening.
So Captain Hansen, this crew, this Stargate crew, I don't
It's
think
an
we
SG
caught which-
unit.
Yeah,
It's
came
one of
through.
the SG units. Yeah, yeah,
Captain Hansen was leading the charge.
yeah.
The natives thought he was a god, and he also thinks he's a god. Like he's all in on this
And his men were trying to get away to get back to
and
wherever.
to warn them.
Yeah, yeah. And he did what we saw
Burned.
him do. Okay.
Burned them.
Yeah, yeah.
Back from the Stargate. Report to General Hammond what's happened here.
No, sir.
No, sir.
If you're going after Captain Hansen, I should go with you. I can get to him.
Look, Captain. Now I need someone to report back to the general, and that is you.
No, sir.
That's a good command right there.
Does it say Colonel anywhere on my uniform?
I know the plan.
It doesn't. It doesn't actually say it on his uniform at
I
all.
think it's suicide. People here
There you
live in
go.
caves. I think they used to be mines. They only come out at night. They're probably still after me, sir.
To Oz.
Keep track. There's a lot of Wizard of Oz references in Stargate.
A lot of L. Frank bomb going on.
A lot of Simpsons references too. If you'll pick up on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is fun because Simpsons are often references to other things. So.
Yeah. Well, it's Richard Dean Anderson, like, personally is a big fan of The Simpsons. So he tries to sneak it in there when he can.
You were right.
Isn't this the dad from Boy Meets World?
It might be.
I'm almost positive this is the dad from Boy Meets World.
He looks a lot harder, but I think it is him.
This tastes like chicken.
So what's wrong with that?
It's macaroni and cheese.
There were a few cave dwellers who got the idea that Hansen was just a man like they were. Thanks to Frakes and
Kind of feed that for him.
mistakes and left out in the direct sunlight.
Oh my
Within
gosh.
7 days, they
Dude
were
is
back
brutal.
in the caves.
Number of significant biblical events took place over the course of 7 days.
Personally, I'd rather eat a bullet.
Yeah. That's some messed up stuff.
Yeah.
Some of it makes like sense up to a point, you know, like, and I can see the Frakes as the anthropologist. I can understand that thinking, you know, hey, let's just meld in, let's bring some of this together so we can see what's up or whatever. But I'm curious, like, if there's something on the planet in the vegetation or the air that kind of fueled that for him.
Hey, Colonel.
it's Colonel.
Yeah. Well, it's on his uniform. Oh wait, no, it's not. I want you to take that and just file that deep in the back recesses of your memory, Jeff. Okay.
Okay.
Day and night.
You can't.
100% that's the dad.
They'll die.
Now that he's like in the sunlight, yeah.
It is. I just looked it up. It is.
Okay.
It's totally him. All you folks writing comments, we got it.
Well, they were
It's good.
probably just instructed just to. Well, what did you see in him?
Oh, I didn't realize they had a thing. I just thought they knew each
charming.
other.
Well, that's good. Charming is good.
I don't know. I should.
But yeah, she referenced giving him the ring back.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, is this just them like working or whatever? Or is he trying to get him to build something? I could see him like build a monument to me, Hansen God Hansen.
Gods need their temples, don't they?
I like how they're still wearing the uniforms. Like they haven't gone full. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I
Well,
like
it
this
separates them, right?
keeps them elevated. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's their godly garb. There's a little Chekhov's gun sight right there.
Mm-hmm.
Dude said he wanted to eat a bullet instead of die that like that. What?
That was refreshing.
Don't underestimate Sam, is what we're learning here.
Right. Okay, they captured her. They probably don't think she's a god. Take her to the Hansen.
To the Hansen. I like it.
He should have some cool god name. Like if I was him and I was a god, I wouldn't have them call me Jeff. You know, I'd be like, I don't even know.
Jeff, I don't know if it concerns me or not, the idea that you think of you're thinking of a god name for yourself.
It's good to have ready.
Jonas?
You never know.
Help.
Well, how does posing as a god and slowly working these people to death help
I
them?
hate that word. Stop using it. I am not posing.
Oh, I didn't think that's where that was going.
I'm creating a great people.
In your image?
Yes.
Wow. Like he doesn't even hesitate.
Wondrous.
This dude's taking one too many punches with the snake.
Uh-huh. So if I'm following this right, there are people who are clearly not cool with this,
Yeah.
and they're going to try and leverage a little bit of that.
I really wish I understood these drawings.
Why don't you ask your people? You seem to be flying well enough on your own.
I hope that you would understand.
I do
I've only known
understand.
Sam for a few episodes,
sick
and I know
and
she
you need
wouldn't
help.
understand.
What do you think the chances are he's left it loaded?
Oh, zero. She's going to pull the trigger. She's real. She's legit, but he's not getting.
He just said
Do
it's
it!
still loaded.
Because so help me, that is the only way you're going to stop me.
I'm so disappointed in her right now. I would have loved if she pulled it and it just clicked.
Jeff,
He's a friend.
I'm sorry. I'm going to make you watch it.
See? Smile look friendly.
You're gonna have to work on that a little bit.
It hurts him. Like you can
How do you
see
know
the
he's
pain.
Jafar? Have you seen one before? Okay, Jonas is bad.
But it's
Yeah,
all right.
that's
He can't
blasphemy.
hear you right.
Too much.
Can't hurt you.
If we finish the temple, Jonas will make the sky orange. When the sky's orange, it's good. There's no more sickness.
And Jonas can make the sky orange.
Yes.
He says so.
Can.
How do you know?
Yeah,
He says
he says he can.
There you go.
Yeah.
For the record, Jeff, it's been a while since I've seen this episode. I don't exactly know what line is coming next. Like,
What is it?
It is something I've seen the Goa'uld use. It creates an energy force high in the air. The device I saw appeared to turn the sky orange.
The cave paintings tell of this. They show this symbol.
Have you ever actually seen one of these things he's talking about?
Looks like something the Goa'ulds left behind. The ancient gods used it to make the sky orange to protect the people from the sun sickness.
So it's just going to be every episode of like, oh, we're going to go to a planet. Somebody on the planet's going to be like, oh, there's Sam. Let's go after Sam. I feel bad for her already.
He hath not failed.
But if Kilt can turn on this device, we could seriously undermine Hansen's power.
There's a problem with your plan, Daniel.
What,
I don't know how to do it.
Turn it on.
Yes, I can turn it on. But there must be two.
Hansen may not know he needs a second device.
This is the valley. Here's the Stargate. Here's the temple.
Good drawing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
He's
thank
used
you.
to cave
Where was the
drawings.
first device found?
He's gonna try and
that
triangulate where
guy.
the second one is.
Yeah.
Then the second device.
It's really like the ultimate way to undermine a god. Just give the people the thing that God has been promising them. Teal'c's gonna be like, "Oh, just push this button. It just opens right up." Sorry, should have told you.
Stand aside.
What would you do if he did that and it just raised out of the ground?
Right. There you go.
I just noticed that they forgot the sound effect of the thing closing, because usually it has like a like it was just a.
I just hope it still functions.
Well, at least they've invented the wheel.
Makes this whole thing a lot easier.
Yes.
They got fire. They got the wheel. They're doing pretty okay.
Don't inhale.
Have you ever used a blowgun like that?
I have not.
Me either. In my head, I'm like, me just breathing out, blowing out can't have that much force.
Right.
I don't get it.
Even when you compress it, like
Yeah.
it's not compressed.
Can work. Let's go.
You know, this is how you get out of stuff like that. You just walk like you own the place.
Yeah.
Don't look around. Don't look squirrely. Don't make it look like anything's weird. Just walk normal.
That's how you get out of a lot of things.
Hey, how you doing? You know, we'd love to stick around, but some brain-dead sycophant left my buddy out here to die.
Like, these guys know each other, right?
You'd
Like,
think so.
They work together at the SGC.
Yeah.
He needs to be like, okay, Jack.
Do it now. If it works, I'll spare him.
Yeah, why don't you give it a shot?
He's doing this in front of some of the worshippers. That's probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
You see what they've done to the Stargate?
They laid it down, right?
I will send those evil undoers who have already invaded our world back to the hell from whence they came.
That's pretty generous, really.
I, the Lord your God, control the gateway to the underworld.
I feel like I would have wanted to watch him put the coordinates in.
Wouldn't kill them.
Throw them in.
Walk the plank. Argy, matey.
There no be no GDO for you, matey.
There's another. Wait, stop.
I'm gonna try that. If anybody ever says, shoot, stop. Okay.
They are demons!
You're not demons, for crying out loud.
This, behold, the magical power.
Let him look like a jerk. He turns it on and nothing. And then, oh, look what we can do.
The world!
Is that Dave Grohl?
Kind of look like him.
Yeah.
Kind of look like it, didn't it?
It's a machine. I can make it work, and so can you. Now I'll show you how.
Right?
There
Look,
are
he's
two
making this
devices,
lady do it.
and
Like,
both must be turned on for the shield to work.
signal. Give the gate signal.
Yeah. Flip the switch.
What happens when they grow past this? Like, if they're reproducing like rabbits, they're gonna get bigger than that little shield. What?
I love that leap. Just that standing. I'm just gonna leap into you.
Flying shoulder
Oh, there he
tap.
goes. Oh no.
Wow, they turned on him quick.
I was gonna say, imagine being Hammond and the gate guys on the other side. Like the
Right.
gate turns on and you're just standing there, forever waiting on nothing. Sir, should I open the iris?
We're ready.
Nope.
No, that's why it's here.
The world outside the caves is very big, yes?
No, not really. Did you see the shield? Oh, happy day. And that's that.
All right, Jeff, we have just watched the First Commandment for the first time. What'd you think?
What a cool idea for an episode, right? Like Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica even did some of this, right? Kind of deifying people or having somebody go somewhere and set up, kind of they're the god. But this was the first time that I can think of where like they truly believed it. Like he's not just playing the part necessarily. Like he's in all the way, and he's not doing it for like necessarily hedonistic reasons. Like somewhere in there, he thinks he's saving these people. Cool idea for an episode. I thought it was fascinating. At one point, one of the native guys is off there. It's with Teal'c and Daniel and O'Neill, and he looks at Teal'c and he's like, "Are you a Jaffa?" And I was like, I took this big note. I'm just like, that's a big deal. Oh my gosh, just random people know about the Jaffa and probably know about the Gould as well. So I was like, oh wow, okay, old stories. And I thought that was a cool little seed. I don't know if it'll ever sprout, but like there's stories about these people. Even if the Gould haven't come back or come through, those stories persist, and just kind of keeps the mythology alive. I felt like the past relationship between Sam and Hansen, Jonas, was kind of meh. They could have got the same place with that of just having them been colleagues before or kind of knowing each other. I don't think they played on the tension between them that would have existed, in a situation that they said they had quite as much.
Right.
But I mean, all in all, like, cool idea for an episode. We'd made an incredible discovery. Maybe the biggest discovery in this was that the Boy Meets World dad was Hansen.
Right.
And he was terrible. He was clearly acting. He was wooden and he was using weird intonations, probably trying to sound godlike. It totally took me out of this episode.
Let me clarify that. Was that him as an actor making choices that Hansen was acting very wooden, or are you saying that the actor Will Russ is the name of the actor there, that his choices as Hansen were very wooden and just not good?
So I'm never going to lay it all the way at an actor's feet. The director plays a really active role in this, but I'm laying this on the actor and the director. This wasn't Hansen's portrayal. This was the actor saying, I'm going to show up this way.
Okay.
And especially in the end, he's up on the little platform and he's, I am the Lord, thy God. And I sounded more convincing right there than he ever did. Like it just, I don't know. We'll get to the rankings and things like that. But at this point, like that, the portrayal of him ruined this episode for me.
I find it very interesting you say that, Jeff, because
Really?
I don't mind telling you, this ranks for me right there at the very bottom with Emancipation.
Really?
Yeah. Like this is one of those, when I do my rewatches, skip,
Just jump over it.
I don't even watch this episode. I don't like it. I'm very much glad that we're on the backside of this episode now. I got to tell you, I've been looking at some of the episodes coming up, and I'm so excited for you to get to those. But this is a part of the show, and this is a part of the story, and we got to get through it. And here it is. I'm just really glad that it happens this early and not so much later. I'm not going to say that every episode from here on out is an all out banger, but we got a lot of really good Stargate coming up, and this to me is not great Stargate at all. So
we got past those initial speed bumps.
What's that season 1 sci-fi stuff we talk about, right?
Exactly. One question I did have though, and I don't know if this will come up or whatever. If it does, don't answer it for me. But they talk a bit about the training for the SG teams, right? And they go through. Do they train them? Is there training around when you are perceived as a god, because it will happen, here's the protocol on how to react? Like, is that a part of their training? Is it after this incident?
We don't know what that training entails yet.
Okay.
I will tell you, we never really get the manual on do this when this happens, and what do you do in case they think you're a god. that's not a thing that they ever really show outside of just mostly Jack and Daniel and Sam going, we're not gods.
Like,
But you come through the gate of the gods, and Teal'c's going, yeah, they're not gods either.
right.
This is a lot of, oh, you're a god. No. We're not gods.
We're going to
Sorry,
deconstruct
we're just like you.
Yeah, deconstruct all of that for you.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my first watch. What about you, my friend? Did you get any of those sci-fi messages out of this one?
Oh, maybe. I think I got like the sci-fi question, and actually it felt very Gene Roddenberry to me, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Because Hansen says this. He says, your favorite line from the entire episode, I'm not posing. I'm not posing. Don't say that word.
That was a great scene.
Right after that, it's a big pause, and he goes, it's a matter of definition. Okay, so what is a god? What makes a god a god? What makes a god deserving of worship? What makes a false god? Okay, let's change the phrase. How does a cult of personality work?
Oh, there you go.
How does an individual gather such a mass following? Because let's face it, Hansen couldn't do what he did if people didn't capitulate.
Yeah.
And I think the show made this idea that the working people generally were not like awesome, but there was his one dude who was in the SG uniform with him, and then there were the other guys that looked like they were old tribal guys with like tiki masks or something on. Like I don't exactly like, those guys seem to be like they were with it, but everybody else is just like, look, you tell me to go work, I guess I'm gonna go work, but I don't know. Shit, I don't know. So how do they gain control? How do they keep control? How do you keep control? By the Hansen here chose fear, right? You institute and and all of a sudden I'm thinking of people like Hitler and the North Korean regime and other regimes around the world that I don't want AI to catch the word and then, have them turn on us. I'm not trying to bring them into the picture. This is why sci-fi is great, because you can talk about it without talking about it. Even people here in our own home country of the United States that gain some big, massive following, and, turns out they're actually evil.
Right. But
everyone, oh, no, they're here for the good. No. And like, everybody's like, no, they're not. So was there a sci-fi message? Was there a holding up a mirror to society? I think that's there. What Star Trek does, though, Jeff, and I'm going to specifically pick on Star Trek, what they do so well, because it's their intention. It's literally like the underpinning of the show is make a cool sci-fi show, but we're also going to present problems and talk about them and discuss them. This episode presented an issue, threw it out there, but it didn't discuss it. It didn't give you both sides of the story. In Star Trek, sometimes we'll answer and say, this is the way it should be. And sometimes they'll throw it out there, they'll discuss it, and then they'll let you as the viewer sit back and chew on it and decide for yourself. This one didn't either. This one just said, here's a false god. What does it mean to be a god? And then it just didn't discuss it. So it doesn't really fulfill. I think Emancipation did kind of the same thing. Like, hey, here's this thing, and we're not really going to dive into it at all. So, but Jeff, I think the best line of the entire thing you said. Like, I wish you could have written this episode. By the way, Robert C. Cooper, the writer for this episode, is going to go on to write some amazing Stargate. Like, he's going to be a really good writer. But you said this: the best way to undermine a god is just give the people what the god has been promising.
Right.
Take away their power. Like, you're absolutely right. There was one other thing, and I really, this is normally where I'd say I don't think the show was going for this, but I actually think that the writer, anyway, coming into the 6th episode, I think he intentionally threw this in.
Okay.
From the moment we met Sam, just because my reproductive organs are on the inside instead of the out doesn't mean I can't handle anything that you can. And I'm a soldier just like you. I've been through every training. I'm all of like, she has been this, I'm as strong as you are too. And let me tell you what, I know Sam Carter. Sam is a badass. You know what I mean? Like, she is something else. And she is right. She is just as strong. She is a good soldier. But in this moment, she failed. She failed as a soldier. She had an opportunity to take out an enemy, and she didn't. She had an opportunity to take out a dangerous enemy, to take out the head of whatever's going on here. This person who is oppressing other people, this person who is effectively going to kill them. If he captures them, they're dead.
Yeah.
Right. And I've never been in the military. I've never served in the military. Many of my family have, many of my friends have. Jeff, you have as well. And to anyone out there who has ever served or is serving, thank you so much for your service to our country and on behalf of your own country to whatever country you're from. However, she failed. I think she failed in that moment. That was her moment to end it. And she didn't. I imagine, and we got a glimpse of it at the end where she's like, I had the opportunity to do it and I didn't take it. And I got to imagine that weighs heavily on her mind of is she as strong? Because as a woman, she is going to be facing that uphill battle. She is going to have that constant doubt, not necessarily in herself, but knowing that other people are having that question, like, can she hold up to this? Is she really a part of this? So we'll assume she can. She'll come out here with us. If Sam had been a man who had, is it just that they had the former relationship? You know, let's say Sam was a boy, it was a homosexual relationship, and Sam's sitting there, Sam the dude is sitting there holding a gun on his ex-boyfriend or ex-fiance. And would that same thing have happened? Or would testosterone have kicked in and he would have shot him? Yeah. Like, I can't answer that question. I don't know. What I know is we had Sam, her ex-fiance, and something happened where she froze up and she couldn't do it. And I imagine that weighs heavily on her. Again, it presents these things, but the episode itself never discusses it. You know, one thing I would have liked to have seen them go into?
What's that?
It was right there. The primal need for people, for humans to believe in a God. Why do we as people believe in gods? Throughout all of human history, no matter where you go, whatever society you're in, people believe in either a god or some sort of pantheon of gods.
Or some higher power. Some people, it's not a god, but there's some higher spiritual connection or something, the universe or whatever.
Yeah. What is it in humanity that makes us believe that? And I know that there's a lot of people who consider themselves atheists, will tell you they don't believe in anything. People throughout history have definitely said that. But there's just seems to be this ubiquitous, in general, talking about humanity, there's an underpinning of we have this innate thing to believe in a God out there. Where does that come from? Why do we do that? Is this natural? Is it something defined? It could have set it up to talk, but it didn't even address that. So, you know, I'm wandering around because that's really what the episode sort of did, was wander.
I wanted so badly in that scene. I said this during the reaction, but when Sam is holding the pistol right at Jonas, right? And he's like, do it. What are you going to do? Do it. Yeah. And I wanted him to get close and egg her on. And then I just wanted to hear the click. Like she pulled the trigger. She made the decision to take him out, but he had left it unloaded. Because I think just as much as you pose the question, does not pulling the trigger weigh on her? I think it would also weigh on her that she chose to pull the trigger.
I would have done it. I would have done it. Yeah.
I think it would have been a
instead of capture him and take him back. Yeah. But Jack said to her before she left, like, look, we're either taking him back for course martial or not. And you know what not means. It means we killed him.
Yeah. And Jack was great at the end. Like, he mentored her. You know, she's like, God, I could have. He's like, nope, you know what? You did the right thing. The first commandment, that's actually like the fourth or whatever, the killing one, as he said. You know, every time you do that, you take a step closer.
Actually,
the seventh?
I think it's the seventh one. Yeah.
I don't know. It's an important one, though. I think it's a pretty important one.
Oh, let's just talk about it just for a second, because they did bring it up there. The title of the episode, the First Commandment. The First Commandment is they misquoted it in the episode, is "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." Right, meaning I will be your. There is no one else besides me. That is the first commandment from the 10 Commandments, anyway. Interesting to you have Jonas here, who's I am the God. I am here, and you shall.
It is pretty fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Brent, this is a For the First Time podcast, and so we rate and rank episodes. That's what we do. I'm going to rank this episode in the thing we do, right? Our definitive, objectively correct, immutable season ranking. But before I do that, you, based on everything you walked us through, you're going to rate this episode on a scale of 0 to 5 chevrons as to how strong those messages were.
Well, I'll tell you a few things that I think this episode got absolutely right. One, it got the reason that everything looks like Northwest Canada. It fitted into a great end unit. Well, the Goa'uld moved all the people here, and so they terraformed all these worlds to look like yours, except for Abydos. That looks like a desert.
It still looks like part of the planet. It's still, isn't it? Yeah.
Supposedly they came to Egypt first, which so looks like Northwestern Canada. Anyway, whatever. I love it. I love it when shows do like an in-universe reason for why their own stuff exists. That's about the best thing I can say from this episode, to be honest with you. Once again, this episode presented a couple of good ideas and did absolutely nothing with them. Didn't go anything with it. So, I mean, I almost feel bad giving it 0 chevrons because it did at least present the episode, or at least present some issues. But again, it didn't do anything with it. So 1 chevron?
Do the 0.
Okay, 0 chevrons. It just didn't do anything. It really
it's
just
almost
didn't go
worse. There. It's almost worse that they introduced him because there was some meaty stuff, and it's just like, here you go. Nope. Here you go. Nope.
Yeah. And look, listen, people, save your clicks on the keyboard. I understand. The writers at Stargate are not the writers at Star Trek. The people at Stargate are not necessarily sitting down to write a moral tale to tell us how to do stuff. I understand that. But my job is to look at the show through that lens. So,
we're going to have a lot of low
show right now.
We're going to have a lot of low chevron episodes. And that doesn't mean they're bad episodes. It just means they didn't have a message. They didn't have a thing that they didn't intend to put in it. So it's,
and as we often say with Babylon 5, there's a lot of Star Trek episodes that wouldn't get a very high Delta rating.
Exactly.
So Jeff, I gave 0 chevrons, but you get to rank this. You get to put this on the ranking. You and you alone. Your word is like God's. You are the one, immutable one. Where do you rank the First Commandment? Our current ranking, although this is episode 6, we are actually only 4 episodes in. Our current ranking, you have number 1, The Broken Divide, number 2, Children of the Gods, number 3, Enemy Within, and number 4, Emancipation. I cannot wait to see if you place this one above or below Emancipation, because those are the only 2 spots they could possibly be.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I just have to ask myself the question, which one would I rather watch?
Yeah.
And the answer is this one. This is going to be our new number 4. I really like the idea behind this one. The only thing Emancipation had going for it was the guest star had Marishi in there, and that was great. Mm-hmm. And that's about it.
Well, it had Marishi and it had the Mutado.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
How did I forget that? Oh my gosh. I just lost some of my TKO cred.
You just lost some of your B5 cred, man.
Yeah. Oof.
Hey, I need no yes for that reference, though.
Oh, yes.
All right, Jeff. Well, that is going to wrap up the First Commandment. Would you like to know what we're watching next time?
Yeah. What is it?
All right. Cool title. Again, somewhat biblical, but I'm not going to say that it actually has anything to do with the Bible, unlike this one. But I'm curious to know what you think it might be, where we're going to venture. It's an episode titled Cold Lazarus.
I can't imagine Lazarus meaning anything other than either someone being raised from the dead or someone who is split in two, both good and evil, and is doomed to fight themselves through all eternity and through the entire universe in one of the absolutely worst episodes of Star Trek, the original series of Star Trek. I believe that Stargate has the guts to go there. Right. Yeah. I think it's a show that would go there. I don't think that's this.
So you said somebody split in two and fights themselves through all eternity. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Superman,
Oh, yeah, Superman 3. Ron, if you're watching this, I hear you. I got you. But I'm going to go with this. There's going to be someone who, oh my God, this is so stupid of a prediction. They froze to death. They're going to be in some like ice thing, and he froze to death, and they're going to bring him back, and they're going to he's going to have stories about the Gould or something like that. I feel stupid even making that prediction, but that's what I got.
Okay, well, we will see whether Jeff's actual prediction or whether his little throwaway line about being split into two and doing Superman 3 all over again. If either one of those two are anywhere remotely close to what Cold Lazarus is about, I know, likely you know, Jeff will find out next time here on Stargate SG1 for the first time. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video wherever you are. Please, wherever you get your podcasts, rate and review, and share this with somebody who loves Stargate SG1, or maybe somebody who needs to fall in love with this very, very incredible season. So with all of that, until next time, thank you guys so much.
Hey, Brent.
Yeah, what's up?
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Oh, we're crying out loud. And speaking of which, we didn't update our rank, our crying out loud.
That's right.
Tracking sheet. We had one crying out loud, bringing us up to 5.
Moss.
So, all
It's
right,
gonna be fun to watch that grow.
there you go. There you go. Well, I can't wait for the other ones to start kicking in. They'll come. They'll start sooner rather than later. So
cool.
They're getting there. We're only a handful of episodes in. So
exactly.
Hey, listen, guys, thank you so much for joining us. You guys are amazing. I know Jeff actually has some stuff he's got to run and go do. So we're going to cut Club 65 short this particular time. And we'll catch up with you guys next time here at, there it is.
All right.
There it is. We'll catch up with you guys next time. Drop a 65 though, just to let us know that you were here. We appreciate that. And Jeff, let's get out of here.
We'll see you. Is that the Emerald City?